The sun is just beginning to rise over the green hills of Burgundy. Fog drapes over the river like a soft blanket, and somewhere in the distance, a bell tolls, not with urgency, but with rhythm. Slow, grounded, certain. You're waking in the guest house of a medieval Benedictine monastery. Everything smells of damp wood and warm bread. The fire hasn't yet been stoked, but the stones of the floor still carry yesterday's heat. You hear footsteps, soft ones, sandals on stone. The monks are already awake. In truth, they never really sleep all at once. The rhythm of prayer, called the divine office, guides their day like constellations in the dark. And yet, this is no cloistered life of silence and simplicity. Not entirely. Outside the chapel walls lies a humming, hidden economy, an ecosystem powered not by coin, but by bread, bees, and ink. Welcome to the monastery, one of medieval Europe's quietest yet most complex economic engines. Let's begin in the bakery. Each morning, before the bell for lauds, a monk named Brother Etienne kneads dough in a massive trough the size of a bathtub. It's a simple mix: barley, oats, sometimes a little rye if the weather's been kind. Wheat is rare and precious, reserved for feast days or honored guests. Brother Etienne hums a soft hymn as he works, the words barely audible over the squelch of dough and the clink of his wooden rings. He's not alone. An assistant stokes the wood-fired oven, carefully rotating glowing logs until they settle into an even bed of heat. Bread isn't just sustenance here, it's currency. The monastery feeds the monks, yes, but also travelers, pilgrims, the poor, and even the local lord's taxmen. In return, they receive favors, protection, and, on occasion, land. The kitchen garden just beyond the bakery is another economic center. Neatly ordered rows of parsley, leek, and lavender hum with bees that belong, incidentally, to Brother Aimé, the monastery's apiarist. Let's follow him now. He wears a thick veil over his head and speaks gently to his hives. He believes, quite firmly, that bees can sense anger. His hives are not boxes, but woven skeps made of straw, and they sit on little stone platforms in the sun. Brother Am checks them for health, humming just as Brother Etienne did, this time a slow chant of psalm verses. Honey is more than a sweetener here. It's medicine. It's preserved fruit. It's traded with local villages for rare herbs or ink pigments. In fact, it's mixed into the ink used in the scriptorium where we're heading next. We step into a cool, high-vaulted room filled with wooden desks. Each is cluttered with parchment, goose feathers, and inkwells. The air smells of wax, musty paper, and a faint touch of vinegar used to fix dyes. At one desk sits Brother Martinus, hunched over a large folio. His task today is copying a page of Pliny the Elder. He dips his quill made from a swan feather into a pot of deep red ink, made from crushed madder root, iron filings, and a bit of vinegar honey. The letters are sharp, narrow, and almost musical in their movement. He doesn't rush, no one does. Time here is not measured in speed or efficiency, but in devotion. The scriptorium produces not only sacred texts, but also manuals, herbals, and land deeds. Some are gifted to other monasteries. Others are sold to nobles for handsome donations. Occasionally, a royal messenger will write in, requesting a copy of a rare book no longer found in the libraries of Rome or Paris. These books are worth more than gold. They are the monastery's most prized exports, along with their cheeses. Yes, let's go to the cheese cellar. Below the main buildings, deep in the cool stone belly of the monastery, Brother Thierry turns wheels of cheese with the solemnity of a priest handling relics. The cheese's soft, ripening rounds of goat or cow's milk are dusted with ash, wrapped in leaves, or rubbed with brine. They're aged for weeks, sometimes months, and offered to traveling abbots or bartered at local markets in exchange for grain, candles, or parchment. Cheese isn't just food. It's preservation, diplomacy, and theology rolled into one. Nearby is the brewery, tended by novice monks, where ale is brewed not just for consumption, but as a sanitized alternative to water. The monastery produces 3 types of ale: strong ale for feast days, standard ale for daily meals, and a weak small ale for children and fasting days. All of this bread, honey, cheese, ale, ink is part of the monastery's inner economy. Nothing goes to waste. Everything feeds into something else. The grain chaff from the bakery feeds the chickens. The wax cappings from honey are turned into candles. The leftover parchment scraps are used to bind books or patch sandals. Even the ash from the ovens is used to make soap. It's a closed loop, centuries ahead of its time. And it is this quiet, rhythmic self-sufficiency that allowed monasteries to thrive, not just spiritually, but economically during centuries of instability. Outside the gates, lords and kings rose and fell. Plagues came and passed. But inside, the bell tolled, the bees buzzed, the script flowed. You might think the monks were isolated, but they weren't. The monastery was a hub. Pilgrims came for rest. Traders brought foreign spices. Letters arrived from distant abbots in Ireland or Sicily. And all the while, the monks carried on kneading, brewing, copying, praying. Each hour of the day had a purpose. Each tool a story. Each object, even the most ordinary, a thread in a vast, humming web of sacred economy. And now, as the sun sinks low beyond the cloisters and the bell rings for Compline, you lie back on your straw-filled mattress, wrapped in a woolen blanket that smells faintly of lavender. You listen to the soft chant drifting through the stones. You remember the warmth of the bakery, the flicker of candlelight in the scriptorium, the slow hum of bees in the lavender rose. And as night settles on the monastery once more, you close your eyes and let the economy of silence lull you to sleep.